As you may have heard, because you've listened to some of my journey in past videos, getting and leading you to this point. But back in 2008, I actually got clean. You may know, you may have heard that I struggle with addiction and alcoholism, was homeless, and crawled basically up onto my father's doorstep, knocked on his door, and asked him to help me save my life. And he obliged. He allowed me to come in. He allowed me to sleep on his couch. And over the course of the next 6 months was sort of a rising like the phoenix kind of moment for me. And I pretty much used this time to get back on my feet. And I was going to work with him on construction sites. Okay. I even for a brief period of time bought this truck because I was going to go do construction on my own. Now I wasn't ready to do that. Okay. I wasn't prepared mentally. I wasn't prepared financially to go out and run my own business, but I was a dreamer. I was somebody who I wanted to use my mind. I wanted to build a business. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to turn my mess, which was my life in past years leading up to that point, I wanted to turn it into a message. I didn't want it to all be in vain. And after so many years of just feeling depressed and feeling hopeless and feeling like I was stuck, I wanted to do something that could sort of redefine my life and give me a new path forward. And now you may not be able to identify with the same exact details of my story, but you could probably relate to the idea of wanting to blaze a new trail, wanting to turn your struggles into your strengths and get out from under, basically get out from feeling like the world's on top of you all the time and actually feel for a little bit of time like you're on top of the world. Well, I'm back working with my dad. I'm driving this old Ford F-150. Regular trips to Home Depot were something that we did, every day, more times than we probably wish that we did, because there was always something that we were forgetting. And one day, my dad asked me to go to Home Depot to grab something, and I'm in an aisle, and I see a man who's looking a little bit confused and a little bit frustrated, maybe like he can't find what he's looking for. And there was no employees, no Home Depot staff that were anywhere in sight. And I just asked him, "Hey man, anything that I can help you with?" And he said, "Yeah, I set a toilet and it's leaking." And I said, "Well, did you set anything between the flange?" The flange is the thing that's in the ground that you bolt the toilet to, in the actual toilet. He said, "No, I just set the toilet down." I said, "Well," I said, "you need a wax ring." I said that's the little piece of material. It's a circular little thing of wax that you set the toilet on, and it creates a seal between the flange and the actual toilet itself, so water and stuff doesn't run out. And I grabbed it off the shelf. It was right there. It was only a $5 piece of material, and he said, "Wow." He said, that's really helpful. Thank you. And he reached into his pocket and he handed me $100 bill. And in that moment, that day, at that period of time in my life, that was like at least roughly 2 days worth of pay for me. I wasn't making a ton of money. As a matter of fact, a lot of times, because my dad taking me on, he would make little to no money, even lose money. And he walked away, the man who I helped with the wax ring, and I stood there and I thought to myself, I just made the amount of money that I usually make in 2 days from a piece of knowledge that I know, that I shared with this guy just on a random day here. And that was the discovery that changed everything for me. During that time in my life, I was already sort of into a couple of other little side gigs. I was doing some, network marketing, and I ran into a guy named John on a job site who introduced me to this other work from home thing, and the company ended up shutting down. And I was feeling a little bit, frustrated about that too, because here I am, 6 months off from my life being basically in the toilet, and I'm ready to get going. And so I took that little experience that I had, and I immediately ran home, and I got on the computer, which was my dad's computer at that time, which was the slowest thing you've ever experienced in your entire life. And I began to search, and I found affiliate marketing, and I found lead pages, landing pages where I was entering my email into, and I just started digging. And eventually I went to my girlfriend and I said, can I put a laptop on your credit card? And she said yes. And I paid that laptop off $50 a month, until I had it paid off. But that discovery in that Home Depot was what changed everything for me and sent me down this path of realizing that maybe there's a possibility that I can sell information. Maybe there's a possibility that I can sell things that I know or things that other people know, and I could earn a finder's fee or an affiliate commission. I didn't know that much about affiliate marketing at that time. And of course, that's what we're going to be learning about throughout this course. But that was the discovery that started everything for me. And what I eventually went and did was I was, doing these network marketing, work from home kind of gigs. And that was kind of that was the only business opportunity stuff that I knew about. And I eventually got online and started, because I was struggling. I actually started as an affiliate for companies that sold training to other network marketers. And that was where I got my start in selling information. Okay. I began to earn a few commissions. And this is actually a picture, of course, me standing next to the truck. This was a screenshot I had in my files, and the red arrow, I don't know what that's about, but anyways, it was the one picture I have of a big smile and some checks standing next to that truck. And of course, here's the picture of me standing in the house that I lived in when I got my business started in the first checks. Those are the very first checks that I ever earned. And this, even though that first check was only $2.50, it opened up a completely new world to me, a completely new world of possibilities. And I was hooked from that point forward. Even though I continued to work construction with my dad for a period of time, I eventually, with only $1,000 in my pocket, quit working with him, which is insane. Today I would not recommend that, but I did that, and I've not looked back since. And so I began to ask myself, really, throughout this whole process, was it true? Could I really sell information? I seemed to be sitting on a gold mine, but in order to profit from it, I really needed to understand its history, which we're going to get to more here in some of these future segments and modules. But I really had to ask myself, and I was really interested, had anybody really made this discovery before? And if so, how did they profit from this opportunity? And did they actually create riches? I mean, was this something that people were making a lot of money from, a little bit of money from? Was anybody really living their dreams? Were they building real businesses? I began to think about colleges and universities and how they seem to have really cornered the market, and somehow, some way over the decades convinced, tens, if not hundreds of millions of people from, all over the world. Of course, I don't know the exact number of people who have gone to college or university, as they call it over in Australia, uni. But man, I mean, they sure got a lot of people in the United States, I know for sure, to, take out loans for tens of thousands of dollars to make decisions about their future when they were 18 years old, before their brain was even fully developed. And of course, then continue on. And people went back to college, maybe even when they were older. And boy, that seems to be a part of the market where information and education is being sold, but this is, I'm wondering, is there a place for a little guy like me to enter in to the marketplace and really build a business, really build something that, gives me wealth, riches, opportunity, allows me to be able to give my kids everything I want to give them? Well, I realized that it did. And over the course of the next decade, I was able to go and achieve some phenomenal things through this business model. And it's been an unbelievable ride. It's taken me all over the world. And it's given me an opportunity to be able to stand on stages, which is something that I never imagined that I'd do. I don't consider myself a speaker today, but it's given me an opportunity to stand in front of people through courses like I'm doing now, through coaching, and through events. Of course, and as an affiliate, right? Which are these core 4 business models we'll talk more about here in a second. But it's given me an opportunity to completely transform my life. And the question that I have for you, and the statement that I want to make for you, is, can this discovery be the one that will change everything for you too? Do you see it? Do you see yourself? Can you see yourself also either selling information that you've created, compiled, developed through your experience over the years of maybe in a particular niche or a particular category, right? Parenting or relationships or woodworking or something like that. Or do you see the ability and the opportunity to be able to sell other information that other people created and do that as an affiliate, which is really what this course is about, right? It's about affiliate marketing. And it's about a beautiful business model of not having to do any of the customer support, not having to do any of the tech or handle merchant accounts or product development or anything like that, but really only focus on learning one core skill set, which is marketing. And to be able to take that skill set and actually be able to earn as you learn, because even I wouldn't consider myself having made it, having knowing everything that I can know about marketing, or I consider myself still green, still wet behind the ears. I'm early in the game, right? I'm only a decade into this. So earn while you learn, and be able to earn the type of money and have the type of lifestyle that can really change everything for you. And if that's what you can see, if you can begin to see that freedom that you can achieve through this business model, if you can just begin to visualize it a little bit and know that it's not about previous experience, it's not about previous education, it's not about credentials, it's not about any of that stuff. It's not about what you've succeeded or failed at up until this point, but this is truly a wide open, leveled playing field that anybody can come in if they're willing to do the work, if they're willing to learn the right skills from the right people and do it in the right environment. And I believe that you have done all 3 of those things by being here. There's a lot of courses, there's a lot of gurus, there's a lot of things out there on the internet. But what we're going to do inside of this, in these next segments and modules, is I'm going to take you through both the mechanics and the dynamics of mastering this business model so you too can experience that life-changing business and those life-changing results, again, if you're willing to follow through and put in the work. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video.